This is a Fox News alert. SpaceX's Crew 10 mission to bring stranded astronauts home just got scrubbed. Now, it was supposed to take place tonight. We're going to tell you what went wrong later in the hour and when they could actually try it again. Thanks to DOJ and Trump's cabinet, we've learned how Democrats used your tax dollars to fund their pet causes. And the story keeps getting worse.
$20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution in a deliberate effort to limit government oversight, doling out your money through just 8 pass-through, politically connected, unqualified, and in some cases, brand new NGOs. The money has since been frozen, and the Department of Justice and FBI have been investigating.
Well, someone needs to do time for this. I mean, this is a total defrauding of the U.S. taxpayers. A lot of people probably have to do time for this. But for now, the left-wing slush funds are being shut down, including all of the EPA's DEI and environmental justice offices immediately. Joining me now, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. Mr. Administrator, the left is hitting you hard for shutting down something called Clean Power Plan 2.0. It sounds so wonderful. So why are you so mean?
Well, must be doing something right if the left's attacking us for being good stewards of tax dollars, if they're attacking us for getting rid of an office to fulfill the president's executive orders and mandates that the American public demanded with their vote November 5th. As it relates to the regulatory action today, there were 32 actions that we took. It's the most significant, biggest deregulatory action in the history of the country. Trillions of dollars. We're taking an action that is going to result in people being able to afford a home, to be able to heat their home. So endangerment funding, Clean Power Plan 2.0, the mercury and toxic standards, particulate matter 2.5, social cost of carbon.
So we're going to have bad air now and bad water?
No, absolutely not.
Fish are going to go
Here's the thing.
On the beaches.
We can protect the environment. We can make sure all Americans have access to clean air, land, and water while also not bankrupting our country. The thing from the left is that they'll push these mandates and these laws that will drive up the costs of living for the people who can least afford it. You know, I come from a state of New York, as you know. In New York State, they ban the safe extraction of natural gas. They won't allow pipelines, no hookups to new construction to gas. And people who are suffering the most are the ones who can least afford it. One other point. We also, as you just said, we're closing down our environmental justice office. The best argument that you can make in favor of environmental justice, you say a community is left behind. We have to help them or remediate an environmental issue. However, if in the name of that, you're sending tens of millions of dollars to left-wing groups like climate.
Well, Politico is saying that you have no evidence of any of this. They're saying that you terminated these $20 billion in climate grants. You just don't like climate change regulations. But where's the fraud?
Yeah, so you have self-dealing, conflicts of interest, unqualified recipients. One recipient of $5 billion was a former employer of the director of the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. The Stacey Abrams-linked NGO got $2 billion after receiving just $100 the year before. They signed the financial agent agreements, the account control agreements to tie EPA's hand behind their back.
And is this at DOJ now? You're going to refer this for possible criminal penalties, criminal charges?
DOJ and FBI have been investigating, and the money's been frozen at the bank.
Well, I hope it's more than investigating eventually. Now, there's a story that broke late tonight that the EPA has been silencing some of its staffers as these grants are canceled by the agency. ABC News is reporting that EPA staff members across the country have been told by supervisors that they're prohibited from communicating with partners, grantee partners, that they're supposed to supervise and monitor, according to multiple sources inside the EPA, and others working directly with the agency. Do you have any comment on that tonight?
So generally speaking, across the country, that's just fake news. The only alternative for a few employees that come to mind is that there's an active DOJ and FBI investigation. Those people probably know who they are because the FBI has been in our building.
So there hasn't been some general edict put out that you can't
talk? Absolutely not. Here's the problem. We need more accountability and oversight, not less. And if anyone is inside the agency and they've been part of the problem, they should be concerned about their own future inside the agency because we don't need them. We need people in the agency who are there to do good work, to make the American public proud, people who want more oversight, not less, not people who have been part of the problem.
One problem that I think has been around for decades, and it's gotten intermittent coverage, is what Mexico is doing to California with raw sewage that just goes straight into a pipe into the ocean that ends up in the San Diego beaches, La Jolla, that whole, Tony areas, ocean, all the way up to Oceanside, shutting down beaches, contaminating them with human feces and other. This is our ally, Mexico. What's going to happen? Is this ever going to be fixed?
Yes, it has to be. We need to demand it. Mexico at times has done what they needed to do to cut off the flow. And then when we just had last weekend, notice came over the course of the weekend that the raw sewage was getting into the Tijuana River and coming into the United States. We can't tolerate any of that. Mexico needs to permanently stop it. And this needs to be something 24/7, 365, that they never allow anything otherwise to come through. You want to protect the environment?
Right.
This is something that is extremely important for the residents of California, and the Trump administration has been all in to help.
Well, the Democrats are just beside themselves about the climate, the political climate under Trump and the climate under Trump. And this is what Shelley Pingree, another maniac, has just said. Watch.
I'm deeply concerned that the Republican majority is giving the administration a free pass to abandon programs that protect the public from pollution, that safeguard human health, and that address the climate crisis.
The death of the Green New Scam is upon us, and there are people who are congressional Democrats who are not going to be happy with our actions. I am here to fight for, as part of that Trump mandate, earned November 5th, the people across this country who have seen a Green New Deal that, if fully implemented, would cost tens of trillions of dollars, and people who cannot afford to be able to heat their home, to purchase a car, small businesses that are struggling to operate. People have been put out of work, and it's going to end. And this whole grift of being able to get tens of billions of dollars of tax dollars to your friends, it's over.
People have made.
It's
First
insane.
they made in COVID, all the COVID scam, hundreds of billions of dollars in the COVID. But the green money scam is, it's beyond.
They're not giving their friends, $100,000 here or $2 million there. They're giving friends billions of dollars.
Okay, speaking of, Stacey Abrams is now defending the $2 billion that funneled to an affiliated group of hers. Watch.
I led a program to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your cost. And based on that program, a coalition of organizations said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. What they are angry about is that it's going to work, because we know it can work.
Why would this have to go through Stacey Abrams? I mean, if you have such a good idea and you need to remediate an issue, if you're spending $1, you just spend $1 to fix the problem. In this case, the Stacey Abrams linked NGO in 2023, they received $100. And then in 2024, they received $2 billion. Their grant agreement stated that they had 90 days to complete a training called How to Develop a Budget.
But how is this $2 billion? Like, if you're giving what people like how to insulate your windows and stuff, I mean, how is that $2 billion? Or have, appliances, you have energy
efficient. It doesn't cost $2 billion.
But what is that? Where does the money go? I mean, actually go. Where does it go?
It's going through pass-through. So the $20 billion goes to just eight entities. Many of these entities didn't even exist before this was first created. When the money goes through that pass-through to other pass-throughs,
everybody gets their piece of the pie.
Everybody gets their piece of the pie.
Well, everyone else is getting sick because they're footing the bills. Do you call you Director Zeldin?
Call me Lee.
Lee? But no, what is the official way?
Administrator.
Administrator. Thank you. Mr. Administrator, thank you. It's always great to see you.
Always good to see you.
Thanks so much.